Most beginners using AI on Etsy are guaranteed to fail. I know that sounds harsh, but let's be honest about what is happening right now. You watch a video, you generate some random digital art, you list it, and then silence. No views, no sales, just wasted time. You start thinking the market is saturated or that this whole AI side hustle thing is just hype. I get it. It is incredibly frustrating to put in the work and see zero return. But here is the truth. Etsy isn't dead and the opportunity isn't gone. You are just digging in the wrong spot. 99% of beginners are fighting for scraps in crowded categories like printable wall art or generic planners. That is a losing game. The people actually making $5,000 or $10,000 a month aren't doing that. They are using what I call the micro niche strategy. In the next 15 minutes, I am going to show you exactly how this works. We are going to bypass the competition entirely. Instead of shouting into a crowded room, I am going to show you how to find specific hungry groups of people who are searching for products that don't exist yet. And I will show you how to use AI to build exactly what they need in a fraction of the time. You don't need a degree in graphic design, you don't need expensive software, but you do need to stop treating this like a lottery ticket and start treating it like a business. This isn't about getting rich by next Tuesday. It is about building a sustainable asset that pays you for years. If you are ready to stop guessing and start building a shop that actually makes sales, this is your blueprint. Let's get into it. First, let's look at why your shop might be sitting at zero sales right now. It isn't because your designs are bad, and it isn't because the algorithm hates you. It is because you are trying to sell ice to people living in Antarctica. If you go to YouTube right now and search Etsy AI side hustle, almost every video gives you the exact same advice. They tell you to make floral wall art, daily planners, or gratitude journals. They make it sound easy, but here is what they don't tell you. When 10,000 people watch that video, 10,000 people upload the exact same floral wall art the next day. This creates the saturation trap. Here is the brutal reality of Etsy in 2026. If you search for minimalist planner, you are going to get over 500,000 results. The top sellers in that category have been there for 5 years. They have 50,000 reviews, they have loyal email lists. You cannot beat them by uploading a PDF you made in Canva in 20 minutes. You just can't. Trying to compete in those categories is like opening a burger stand right next to McDonald's and hoping people notice you. Then there is the second problem, the AI volume trap. A lot of beginners discover tools like Midjourney or DALL-E and think, great, I can generate 100 images an hour. I will just flood the store. But volume isn't value. Customers are smarter than ever. They can spot low-effort, generic AI art from a mile away. If your product looks like everyone else's, the only way you can compete is by lowering your price. That is a race to the bottom where nobody wins. You end up working for pennies and you burn out before you make your first $100. I see so many aspiring entrepreneurs fall into the copycat cycle. You see a shop making $10,000 a month selling watercolor dog portraits, so you try to do the exact same thing. But you are missing the invisible work. You don't see their marketing, their SEO history, or the years they spent building trust. You are copying the result, not the process. It is like trying to build a house by looking at a photo of the roof. This is usually the point where people quit. You spend weeks generating images, fighting with listing descriptions, and tweaking keywords only to hear crickets. It feels personal. You start thinking, maybe I am just not creative enough, or maybe I missed the boat. But listen to me closely because this is the most important thing I will say in this video. It is not your fault. You were just given a broken roadmap. You are trying to play a game that was won 5 years ago. The old way of post it and pray is dead, but there is a back door. While everyone else is fighting over the front entrance, trying to sell generic planners to the masses, there are tiny, specific groups of people waving money in the air, begging for someone to make something just for them. These people are ignored by the big sellers because the niche is considered too small. But for you, that too small niche is exactly where your first $1,000 is hiding. So stop trying to be Amazon. Stop trying to appeal to everyone. We need to go narrow, dangerously narrow. And the good news is, AI is actually the perfect tool for this if you use it to solve a specific problem instead of just making noise. Let me show you exactly how to find these hidden opportunities. So, what exactly is the micro-niche strategy? Think of it like this. Digital planners is a category. It is crowded, loud, and impossible for a beginner to dominate. ADHD-friendly daily organizers for nursing students is a micro-niche. It is specific, it solves a painful problem for a clearly defined group of people, and most importantly, the big sellers aren't bothering with it because they think it's too small. But here is the secret. It isn't too small, it is focused. When someone goes to Etsy and types in planner, they are browsing. They might buy, they might not. But when someone types in ADHD nursing student planner, they are hunting. They have a specific struggle. They are balancing clinical rotations with study time while managing ADHD. They are holding their credit card, looking for the one product that understands their brain. If you are the only shop offering that exact solution, you don't need 50,000 reviews. You just need to be the one who showed up. The formula we are going to use is simple. Specific person plus specific pain point equals your product. Most beginners try to sell a solution looking for a problem. They make a pretty image and hope someone likes it. We are going to do the opposite. We are going to find the problem first. Maybe it is printable flashcards for speech therapists. Maybe it is branding kits for mobile dog groomers. These aren't sexy viral topics. They are boring, practical utility products, and that is exactly why they make money. People pay to have their problem solved. Now, you might be thinking, but how do I create products for nursing students or speech therapists if I am not one? This is where AI becomes your unfair advantage. 3 years ago, if you wanted to serve a micro niche, you had to hire a designer or spend weeks learning complex software just to test an idea. It was risky. If the product flopped, you lost a month of your life. Today, AI tools allow you to bridge the skills gap. You can use ChatGPT to understand the specific terminology and needs of that niche. You can use Midjourney to create the visual assets. You can use Canva's AI features to format the layout. You can go from idea to listed product in an afternoon rather than a month. This lowers the risk to almost zero. You can test a micro niche, see if it gets traction, and if it doesn't, you pivot to the next one without losing your shirt. You don't need to be a master designer. You don't need to be a niche expert. You just need to be observant enough to spot a gap that everyone else is ignoring. So, the strategy is clear. We are going to ignore the masses and build for the few. But how do you actually find these profitable gaps without guessing? You don't need a crystal ball, you just need to know where to look. Let's get into the research method. I am going to break this down into 3 phases: research, creation, and launch. And I am going to ask you to do something that might feel uncomfortable. I want you to put your creative ego aside for a moment. We aren't trying to be artists right now. We are trying to be detectives. Let's start with phase 1, the alphabet soup method. You don't need expensive software like eRank or Marmalade to start. Those tools are great later, but right now, the best data comes directly from Etsy itself. The search bar is telling you exactly what people want in real time. Here is exactly what I want you to do. Open Etsy in an incognito window. This is crucial. If you use your normal browser, Etsy will show you things based on what you have looked at before. We want raw, unbiased data. So, go incognito. Go to the search bar and type in a broad category like checklist. Do not hit enter, just watch the drop-down menu. You will see generic stuff like cleaning checklist or daily checklist. That is too broad. Now press the spacebar and type the letter A. Suddenly, you see checklist for ADHD adults, checklist for Airbnb hosts, checklist for au pairs. Now delete the A and type B. Checklist for babysitter, checklist for bridesmaids, checklist for business travel. This is the alphabet soup method. You are going through the alphabet, letter by letter, letting Etsy's autocomplete reveal the micro niches. These suggestions only appear because real people have typed them in recently. That is your validation. Let's pick one from that list. Checklist for Airbnb hosts. If you click that, you might still see a lot of competition, so let's go one level deeper. Add another word. Type Airbnb host checklist for and see what happens. You might see Airbnb host checklist for pet owners or Airbnb welcome book template beach house. That right there, that is your money spot. Airbnb welcome book for beach house. It is specific. It implies a customer who has money, they own a beach rental. And it implies a problem. They need to look professional to guests. Now, before we build this, we have to verify it. This is the green light test. Look at the search results. How many listings are there? If it is over 10,000, walk away. It is too crowded. If it is under 1,000, you are interested. If it is under 500, you should be getting excited. But low competition isn't enough. We need demand. Scan the first page of results. Do you see listings that say bestseller or 20 plus in basket? Or look at the reviews. If a listing was posted 3 months ago and already has reviews, that means it is selling consistently. If you find a niche with under 1,000 results and at least 3 shops making consistent sales, you have a green light, you have found a gap in the market. Most people skip this step. They get an idea in the shower and spend a week making it, only to find out nobody wants it. Don't do that. Let the data tell you what to build. Okay, phase 2, the AI assembly line. You have your target, a beach house welcome book for Airbnb hosts. Now, you might be thinking, I don't own an Airbnb, I don't know what goes in a welcome book. This is where ChatGPT becomes your business partner. It is going to do the heavy lifting on the content. Open up ChatGPT and type this specific prompt. Act as a superhost on Airbnb with 5 years of experience renting out a luxury beach house. Outline exactly what pages and sections should be included in a welcome book for guests to ensure they have a 5-star experience. Include specific details relevant to a beach location. In 10 seconds, ChatGPT is going to give you a structure. House rules, Wi-Fi passwords, local seafood recommendations, tsunami evacuation routes, how to use the hot tub. It will give you content you never would have thought of. Now you have the skeleton. Next, we need the visual assets. This is where a tool like Midjourney or even the new image generators inside ChatGPT come in. We aren't going to generate the whole page because text generation in images is still hit or miss. We are going to generate the elements. You want a beach vibe? Ask the AI for watercolor illustrations of seashells, starfish, and driftwood, isolated on a white background, soft coastal color palette. Within minutes, you have a library of custom, professional graphics that nobody else has. You aren't using the same free Canva elements as everyone else. You have your own assets. Now, we bring it all together in Canva. This is the body of your product. Search Canva for magazine layout or booklet. Don't copy their design, just use it to get the margins and spacing right. Copy the text structure from ChatGPT. Drag in your custom seashell graphics from Midjourney. Here is a pro tip that separates the amateurs from the pros. Make it a template. Instead of selling a finished PDF that the customer can't change, sell them the Canva template link. Airbnb hosts want to add their own address and Wi-Fi password. If you sell them a static PDF, it's useless to them. If you sell them a template where they just fill in the blanks, you are saving them hours of work. That is what they are paying for. But here is the technical part most people miss. You cannot just paste the Canva link into Etsy. Etsy requires you to upload a file. So here is the workaround. You create a simple one-page PDF document. Call it the thank you download. On that PDF, you write a nice message. Thank you for your purchase. Click here to access your template. You link that text to your Canva template link. When the customer buys, they download this PDF, click the link, and boom, the template opens in their Canva account. That is the bridge. You are not selling a digital file, you are selling time saved. Keep that in your head. Phase 3, the click-worthy listing. You have built the product. It took you maybe 2 hours. Now you have to list it. Here is the hard truth. On Etsy, the customer cannot touch the product. They can't flip through the pages. Your listing images are the only thing they have. If your main image is just a screenshot of the digital file, you will lose. You need to use mockups. A mockup is a photo of an iPad or a printed booklet sitting on a nice wooden table with your digital product superimposed onto it. It makes the digital file look real. It helps the customer visualize using it. You can find free mockups online, or, you guessed it, you can use AI to make them. But for beginners, I recommend a site like Placeit or even Canva's Smart Mockups feature. Search for iPad on coffee table beach background. Drop your welcome book cover onto the iPad screen. Suddenly, your product looks like a premium brand. It looks like something a professional host would use. When you write your title, don't try to be clever. Be a robot. Remember our research keywords? Use them. Title: Airbnb, welcome book template for beach house. Vacation rental guest guide. Host Canva template. Editable coastal house manual. See what I did there? I hit Airbnb, beach house, vacation rental, and Canva template. I am giving the search algorithm exactly what it wants. Now, I want to pause here for a second because I can feel some of you getting tense. You might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of steps. What if I mess it up? What if I pick the wrong niche? I want to reframe that for you. In the old world, starting a business meant buying inventory. If you bought 500 t-shirts and nobody bought them, you were out $2,000 and your garage was full of boxes. In this model, what is your risk? If you make this beach house welcome book and nobody buys it, what have you lost? You have lost maybe 3 hours of your time. You haven't lost a penny in inventory. You don't have boxes in your garage. That is the beauty of digital products. The failure cost is effectively zero. This means you can afford to experiment. You can try the beach house niche today. If it doesn't work, you can try the bachelorette party scavenger hunt niche next week. Then, the pet sitter report card niche the week after. You only need to be right once to start building momentum. Scaling is actually the easy part. Once you understand this process, you realize that building a $10,000 month isn't about finding one magic product that goes viral. It is simply about repeating the loop I just showed you. Think of each listing as a piece of digital real estate. One listing might only make you $50 a month. That doesn't sound like much, but once you validate that niche, you can make 5 variations of it. Then you move to the next letter in the alphabet soup and find the next problem. Then the next. You don't need to be a genius to do this. You just need to be consistent. You are building a portfolio of tiny assets. Some will do nothing, some will pay your grocery bill, and a few might pay your rent, but you only get there by taking the first step. And this is where most people fail. They watch the video, they get excited, and then they get paralyzed by the fear of it not being perfect. They think, what if I pick the wrong niche? Let me tell you the truth. You probably will pick the wrong niche for your first try, and that is completely fine. Because with AI, you didn't spend 3 weeks on it. You spent an afternoon. The cost of failure has never been lower, which means your ability to experiment has never been higher. So here is your homework. Seriously, don't just close this video and scroll to the next one. I want you to open an incognito tab right now. Go to Etsy. Type in one letter. Find one specific problem that real people are searching for, and commit to building that solution this weekend. This is the One Product Weekend Challenge. Don't try to build a whole shop. Just build one product. Get it listed. Once you see that first listing go live, the fear disappears. You realize, oh, I can do this. I just did it. A year from now, you could have a shop generating real, consistent income that gives you options in your life. Or you could be in the exact same spot, wondering how other people are doing it. The only difference is the action you take in the next 10 minutes. If this video gave you a clear path forward, subscribe to the channel. We are building a community here that values real strategies over fake hype, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. You have the tools, you have the blueprint. Now go build something. I'll see you in the next one.